Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. I know, right? 2 videos in 2 days on the YouTube channel. Are you kidding me? What is going on? What is going on is a combination of the last video I did, if you're watching this a year from now, the last video I did was on a job opportunity, an opportunity in the Ozarks where there was a turnkey operation of a butcher shop. It's available. It's still, as of today, available. And so I did a video on that. And this video is due to a combination of what I call typical YouTube comments that came out, and another video I saw today that Brother Randy over at the channel The Covenant, and I'll put a link to his channel down here. He did a video kind of on my video, and I won't put a link to that video because it was a very praise Pastor Joe, what a great video it was, and you know, I'm not here to toot my own horn that way, but I do like his videos. But I got to thinking about some of the subtext of what he was saying. And so that's what this video is about. Let's call it sour grapes, shall we? There's a story that roughly goes like this. There is a fox. Oh. And he is running through the fields and stuff, and he sees a grape trellis, you know, like a ladder up on stilts with grapes growing across the ladder part hanging down. And he sees these delicious looking grapes. I mean, they're just purple and juicy and fully ripe. And that fox is like, man, I'm gonna get me some of those grapes. And he gets up underneath there and he looks at him and he jumps up and he can't reach them. So he goes, well, I'll just jump higher. So he jumps higher and he can't get it. He's like, man, those grapes look delicious. I need to get me some of those. And he tries really hard. He gets a running start and he jumps. Nothing. So then he tries to climb up the side. He can't do it. He tries for 2 or 3 hours trying to get some of these delicious looking grapes. And when he can't get it, he's like, they're probably sour anyway. And then he goes around telling everybody how the grapes over there at Farmer Bob's are all sour. And then people start believing that, and other people who'd been eyeballing those grapes are like, yeah, I don't want those grapes. Until some little boy comes out, he sees the grapes, he climbs up the top, starts eating them, he's got this big smile, oh, these are delicious grapes. And everyone's like, oh, we didn't think they were delicious, we thought they were sour grapes. Jobs in the Ozarks. I see it all the time. People say there ain't no jobs out there, or people say there aren't no jobs out here in the Ozarks, or you know, you can't get a job in the country, or I'd like to do that but I can't raise a family in the country on that, yada yada yada. And then people start believing it, and it quashes dreams. On Patreon, I just shot a video today talking much more in detail on how to get a job, how to generate income in places like the Ozarks. Not just the Ozarks, but places like that. But there's no jobs in the Ozarks. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? And I'm sorry if I'm offending you, sorta, but not really. There ain't no jobs in the Ozarks. Do you know there's millionaires who live in the Ozarks? Do you know there are people who live in the Ozarks who make $300,000 a year? Do you know there are people in the Ozarks who make $150,000 a year? Did you know there are people in the Ozarks who make $75,000 a year? Oh, yeah, all over the place. There are people who make money. Whatever level you consider good money, there's people here in the Ozarks making that money, right? Are there poor people here? Yes, there are. But saying that there's no jobs in the Ozarks is ignorant. It's sour grapes is what it is. I have a video, I'll try and find it and put a link to that down below too, I think it's called No Jobs in the Ozarks. And I interview a bunch of young men, like 20s, in their 20s, 30, somewhere around there, sitting around a campfire about the fact that there's no jobs in the Ozarks and what they're doing. They all moved here from somewhere else, and guess what? Now they're all working, right? There's jobs everywhere. If you want to work, you can work. You got to use your brain. You have to use your brain, and you have to have an attitude of a good worker. Brother Randy on the Covenant, I watch a good chunk of his videos. I'm subscribed to his channel. And you can see, and this is what I talk about in great detail on the Patreon channel, but you can see that he's got several different videos, income streams working. Like, I think, working construction, selling vegetables, working on his own place so that he doesn't have to spend money elsewhere. You know, if you produce your own food, you don't have to go to the grocery store, kind of thing. Yeah, there's people out here living what you would consider a fairly normal life, raising families, driving cars, doing all those things. And so, hey, guys, gals, people, you need to get out of those cities. And I know that so many of you are buying the lie that the only place you can get a job that will support you and your family is in a city or in the suburbs somewhere where you're surrounded by people who are going to become your problem. That's a lie. There are all kinds of people raising families out in the country where life is going to be, one, it's better now. Life in the country is better now. And two, where it's going to be so much better when this whole thing falls apart. And I got to tell you, time is running out. I've been beating this drum for a while. And I'll add this before I sign off because I saw this comment in my last video too, and there's some truth to it. Don't be bringing your citified attitude out here to the country. Nobody wants to hear it. You're not gonna do well. We don't play that. We don't care about the latest fashion that you think is so important. We don't care about those fancy new shoes that you got. Matter of fact, we think they look stupid. You ought to have a pair of boots on. We don't care how you did it back where you were. If it was so good, why don't you stay there? We don't want to hear you complain about the lack of services out here in the country, because guess what? That lack of services means our tax bill is lower and we don't have people breathing down our neck telling us what to do. Right? We don't want you moving out here and then start complaining about the fact that there's a hog farm over there that stinks, or a chicken farm over there that stinks, or there's noise from the roosters in the morning, or that guy just spread cow manure on his field and it stinks. Hey, if you can't deal with that, stay in your air-conditioned, carpeted comfort in the city, because we don't want you out here. And if you try and change it out here like that, there's a song by Hank Williams Jr. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And you won't be happy out here. It ain't like where you came from. That's why it's a good place to go. It's the same concept. You can bite onto this concept. I know you get angry about, here, this is how YouTube's going to demonetize this video right here. Immigrants coming to this country and trying to make it like their country. Hey, if you liked it so much in your country, why'd you come here? Right? Same thing in the country. So don't come here with your citified attitudes, your urbanized attitudes, and try and change how we do things out here. Come here, blend, adapt, look like us. All right. But yeah, don't believe those sour grape stories. If you're feeling the unction to move, if the Holy Spirit is telling you to get out of those cities, well, here's another witness telling you, yep, you need to do that. And if you're a worker, you can work. If you need a job, you can get one. Maybe I'll see you out here.